Good morning, everybody. Mr. Schmidt here. Hope you're having a fabulous Tuesday. Just wanted to send you this message about the culminating activity so that you do really well. And, I think all the information is there for you to read, but sometimes people don't read it. So I'll just go through it with you. Before we do that, just, sorry, that is written wrong already. My mistake. All assignments must be submitted by Friday morning at 9:30 a.m. The marks will be due on Monday morning. Okay, so really the 26th is the Thursday. That's when it says that your culminating is due, and I would prefer to have it on the Thursday. But I will accept it, and I will give full feedback and mark it fully until 9:30 a.m. That also includes all your other assignments. Now, if you are the kind of person who is really far behind and has not really gotten your act together for this course, or who has been focusing on another course and been communicating with me, and you fear that you are going to fail, email me and we will talk about credit rescue and how we would rescue a credit. Usually that would mean leaving aside some of the assignments that are worth less and focusing on the bigger ones, which in this case would be the essay and of course the culminating activity. Now, that said, you still have to have, done enough work to meet the curriculum expectations. So you still need some other assignments as well. That's why I ask you to email me. Annotated bibliography. That is spelled poorly. In fact, it is spelled wrong. Frequently asked questions about it. Can you use some of the works that we've looked at in the course? And the first activity for the culminating, for the annotated bibliography, I believe asks you to review everything we've done in this course in terms of the theme of identity. So you could use a couple of those sources if you wanted to. Now, you've already probably written a lot about identity in some form in the essay, so you don't want to be redundant. But if you feel like one of them in particular you would like to analyze further and we haven't spent that much time on it, go for it. Okay? In terms of the entries for each one, you know that the rubric tells you to follow MLA formatting, which is helpful, and then it asks you also to summarize, assess the usefulness of the texts in terms of the theme of identity, and reflect on your learning. So you'll be marked according to that. Each paragraph should probably be at least half a page in order to do that well. Some people are being a little bit stingy with their word count and not very thorough, and that will mean that some marks are docked. Okay, let's move on from there to look at the anthology. Wow, really doing well this morning, Mr. Schmidt. Okay, so first of all, the anthology should not scare anybody. Okay, you don't need to be a tech master to do this. There are anthology tools that they suggest for you to use in the content of the activities. If you're really uncomfortable doing that, you can also use a blog type format where you have links to everything and you are able to post some visuals as well. And if you're really uncomfortable with that, you can use something like Prezi or PowerPoint with links again. But make sure you are following the success criteria and the rubric really well. Okay? Sorry, there's the annotated bibliography. We've already talked about that. Here's the criteria I'm talking about. This really helps you figure out if you're doing a good job. Is your annotated bibliography properly formatted according to MLA? Is each source cited properly? Does each source contain an annotation that summarizes, analyzes, and evaluates the effectiveness of the text in terms of what it says about the theme? Are the sources listed a mixture of fiction and non-fiction? Don't forget that one. And do the sources listed represent a mixture of different types of media text? And then, of course, you can access the rubric, and this really will help you get a level 4. Okay? Nothing new there. Let's just look at the other two sections together. So again, once you get into this, always the introduction. You guys probably skip through this a heck of a lot like I do, although you should read them at some point, especially the success criteria, because that is kind of what your mark is based on. In the previous activity, you select at least 5 different texts, and in an annotated bibliography, analyze and evaluate how each text said something about the theme of identity. In this activity, you will expand on 2 of these selections to create draft analysis. Okay, so there is some confusion because the other one asks you to do 3, and this one asks you to do 2. I will say that since it is a summer course, do 2 of these selections. One of your analyses must take the form of either a podcast or a video. So you guys have already done a podcast. So that might be easy to do again because you've already kind of created the tools to do so, or you've already explored the tools to do so. If you prefer to do a video, do it. Okay. Take some time to review your anthology selection and identify 2 that you would think would benefit from elaboration. Well, this could be really any of them. And then it gives you a sense of how to prepare for that. Have a working thesis statement prepared for each of the text. That's easy. Okay, writing a draft. Write a draft of approximately 500 words for each of the texts. It's great because you're going to be able to use them. At least 2 body paragraphs. Okay, same thing with MLA formatting. Okay, now this is the part where people get confused. The peer editing is difficult in such a short timeline, but you are still supposed to post it. You're supposed to post it to the discussion area, and once you post it to the discussion area, people are free to comment on it. And everyone should be working at getting to the discussion area and helping each other out in the next 48 hours before this is due. Okay? Now, you're probably not, based on what I've seen and based on the number of people who are completing this course, going to get a lot of feedback. That is okay. Just make sure it is posted there, and you can then work on your own. If there's not a lot of peer feedback, I'm not going to hold it against you, but post it in the discussion area. Once you receive your feedback, or don't, begin revising and editing your drafts. Okay? And then it gives you some ideas about how to do that, and then it asks you to record. Okay, so that's great. And then the consolidation. Uh-oh, I've frozen up here. This is not good. Oh, there is no consolidation because we continue on. I forgot. Okay, so that's the second part of that. So let's now go to the final tasks that you have to do to finish up. This is where the confusion comes in, so we'll go through that quickly. Click, click, click. In the last activity, you focus on writing, recording, developing your ideas for your analysis of 3 of the texts you chose for your anthology. I think it was 2. Now it's time to think about how your anthology will work. This will be a digital anthology, so you have the ability to incorporate links, images, videos, and sounds. So again, you need a web tool that will do that. I'm not going to tell you which one to use it. You may be familiar with some. Go with your strengths, or just explore. It won't take you more than 45 minutes to figure out which one's good. They give you all these. As with the digital portfolio, you can use Google Sites, Weebly, Yola, or Wix, or you could use applications like Publisher or PowerPoint or a WebPoint 2.0 tool. I don't care what you use. I do care that you show that you put some consideration into the design. Okay, and then we'll look at the success criteria together. Okay, it gives you this exemplar to look at, so take a look at it. And then consolidation, it's now time to assemble your anthology. It gives you the full criteria. I've chosen fonts and colors that are easy to read on a computer screen. I've chosen images and design elements that reflect the theme of the anthology. So there is a design component here that they want. I have included an analysis for 2 of my anthology selections. One of my analysis is a video and one is written. Okay, so it's just, if you start looking at all this stuff, it really focuses in on what you need to do. And then of course you can access the rubric, and you're going to be evaluated on demonstrates an understanding of the themes, interprets significant ideas in text, communicates ideas orally with clarity, and communicates ideas in writing. So that's 1 for each one. And then uses the anthology form to present ideas for a specific purpose and audience. So this is where the media part of this is going to matter, right? And the tools you use. Okay, so I think it's pretty clear what needs to be done. And I know it still might be a little bit intimidating, and I totally get that. But just follow the success criterion rubric and then contact me, okay? I don't want to make your lives harder, I want to make them easier. And that's about all I have to say about that. So good luck, everybody, and we will talk soon.